Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Takshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So we just started discussing Bhajana Kriya and two types, Anishtita and Nishtita. Anishtita means unsteady, Nishtita means steady. Unsteady performance of devotional activities is of six types. False confidence, Utsahamahi. Sporadic endeavor, Ghanatarala. Indecision, Vyudha Vikalpa. Struggle with Maya, Vishaya Sangara. Inability to uphold vows, Niyamakshama. And enjoying the waves, Taranga Rangini. Each one characterizes unsteadiness in devotional service. So each of these characters, each of these types characterizes Anishtita Bhakti. And it's important for us to recognize or identify what our challenges are. Utsahamai. Just as a pupil entering school may think he has already become a great scholar, worthy of everyone's praise, a person just beginning devotional service may display the audacity to think that he has mastered everything. How does this manifest? Audacity to think that he has mastered everything. How does that manifest? Any idea? So when we are not ready to take advice, take inputs, when we are not ready to follow instructions, when we think that we don't need all this, this is for beginners, this is that utsahamai. It's audacity to think that we are above everybody else, other rules, regulations which are not for us, and not ready to take instructions. Utsaha means enthusiasm. Utsahamai means person who possesses enthusiasm to excess. Yeah, but it's a negative connotation here. It's negative because person is thinking that he has mastered everything. Yeah, so like I said, possibly in terms of thinking that certain things are not applicable to us, or I am above this, is utsahamai. Just thinking that we are more than what we are. Um, I think at least I can talk about myself. Many times I think that maybe just made a lot of progress in bhakti. But that is this utsahamai. We've not really made much progress, but we just entering school and we think we are already become a great scholar. So we should look out for this and make sure that we should not exclude ourselves from the norm that is there, that has been recommended. When some devotees don't read Bhagavad Gita after some few years in bhakti, this is also this kind of audacity only. Audacity. So we should not think that we have mastered everything. We should always be in a humble position and try to seek guidance, inputs to make progress in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so this is the first one. Second one, Ghanatarala. Ghanatarala means sporadic endeavor, sporadic. A pupil. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has compared students. A pupil may be diligently engaged in his studies, and yet at other times, because of inability to understand the subject matter and because of lack of real taste, becomes totally negligent. So student is sometimes engaged in studies and other times totally negligent, doesn't want to study at all. Why? Because he's not able to understand or he doesn't have real taste. In the same way, a new devotee sometimes practices the different activities of devotional service attentively and sometimes neglects them, being sometimes assiduous and at other times negligent. His sporadic behavior is called Ganatarala, condensed and dilute. Ghana means condensed, Tarala means dilute. So sometimes it is condensed, his bhakti is condensed, intense, sometimes it is dilute. So pendulum. And the real reason is because of lack of real taste. Hmm. So sometimes you just like do lot of intense sadhana and then push. So we should not do this pendulum kind of. If you are having pendulum kind of behavior, then that is ghana tarala. Ghana means condense, tarala means dilute. So condense, dilute, condense, dilute, condense, dilute. This is not good. This is also one of the characteristics of anishtita bhakti. So anishtita means he is not fixed. So sometimes devotee does something, other times he gives it up. So we should always remain fixed. Nishtha means fixed. Whatever our vows are, suppose say we are saying we are chanting 18 rounds, then it should be 18 rounds. And some people tell me, how many rounds are you chanting? Say 6 to 8 rounds. I said, don't give the 6 to 8. Either say 6 or 7 or 8. Give one number. Because this giving ourselves options results in this condensed dilute. What time do you get up? 4 to 4:30 or 4:30 to 5:30. This will give us scope for this condensed dilute. It's okay if it is dilute. It's okay if it is 5:30, right? But we should try to be fixed and gradually raise the bar. Okay. Third is Vyudha Vikalpa. Vyudha Vikalpa means indecision. This is very interesting. Indecision means so many questions are coming in our mind. What should we do? So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a sample. Shall I just be a householder, happy in family life, making my wife and children devotees and worshipping the Lord? Or should I give all that up and go and sit in a place of meditation in Vrindavan and become successful by engaging full time in hearing and chanting with no distractions? There are so many distractions with family life. So devotees thinking, should I just engage in family life, be happy? One on side is saying, shall I be happy in family life or should I just give up everything? Completely opposite thoughts. Hmm. That means really it's just some craziness, right? I mean, how can one think like this? Should I be happy in family life or should I just give up everything? Shall I wait until the last stage after enjoying all sorts of pleasures when I understood that the whole material world is simply a forest fire of affliction, or should I renounce right now? Should I put faith in household life? Hmm. Maya, in the form of a woman created by the Lord, approaches the man gently. One should see her as death, like a well which is covered with grass. So Bhagavatam is saying this. Bharata, who longed to serve the Lord, gave up wife, sons, friends, and kingdom as if they were stool. They were touching to the heart and thus difficult to give up at young age. So he is giving himself reasons. So this person who is thinking, saying that should I be wait until the last stage? Then he's saying no, no, no. But Maya, in the form of when a woman approaches man gently, one should see her as death. So I should not. I should give her up. Then Bharata also gave up. So he's giving himself reasons. Or should I delay renouncing? So here is saying, um, should I wait for all kinds of pleasures? No, no, no. But these verses are saying that we should renounce immediately. But then again, another thought. Or should I delay renouncing? Um, oh, my poor elderly parents and my wife with a mere infant and my other young children. Without me, they have no one to protect them and will suffer unbearably. How can they live without me? This is that 11th canto, the pigeon. But in old age, I will not have strength to renounce. Therefore, right now, I should just maintain my life, enter the forest, and spend 24 hours worshipping the Lord. Then again, pendulum. So, indecision, not able to decide. So, some things he is reading from Shastra out of context completely uh, and saying, okay, okay, no, no, I should renounce. Then he's saying, no, no, I should not renounce. Thus, because of his foolish mentality, a householder whose heart is overwhelmed by family attachment is never satisfied. Constantly meditating on his relatives, he dies and enters into the darkest ignorance. So again, this is from 11th canto. So he's saying I should give up everything because householder will die like this. He enters into darkest ignorance. So I should not wait for that. I should just give up. And then again, one more verse from Bhagavatam. Therefore, for a devotee engaged in bhakti with mind fixed on me, the cultivation of knowledge and renunciation is generally not beneficial for bhakti. Uh, so there is no fault in so then he's saying, okay, this renunciation is not favorable, beneficial for bhakti, so I will not renounce. There is no fault in renunciation if it produces bhakti, if it is dependent on bhakti. So he's just giving himself so many reasons just to just total indecision, lack of clarity. By sophism, one may justify immediate renunciation of householder life, having confidence that there will be no worry for food, since it is well known that immediate renunciation. Okay. It is well known that sadhus in the ashramas eat plentifully. Thus, the neophyte sometimes contemplates a life of renunciation. Oh Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desires remain thieves. Their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles. But at other times, he favors household life. Shall I engage in chanting, or perhaps in hearing, or shall I engage in service? So, like, what should I do? Should I do hearing? Should I do chanting? Should I engage in service? Not interested to do anything. Simply, let me rather engage in many angas of bhakti, like Ambarish Maharaj. When one speculates, so all this is speculation because everything that is being quoted is out of context. Most of them. When one speculates on all types of options in devotional service, it is called Vyudha Vikalpa, or extensive indecision and imagination. So we should not get into this. So if we are in this indecision mode, we should simply take, which basically means we don't have a clear understanding of Shastra. So what we should do is we should simply approach somebody senior to us and just follow whatever he or she says, right? Qualified devotee. Because otherwise, one day our mood will be to renounce. Next day we are in like super charged up and trying to enjoy family life or anything. I mean, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given an example of one decision, right? Which is family life or renunciation. Another decision, which service to engage in. Like this, we will have so many decisions to take in bhakti. And if we are not consistent, if our mood is swinging, then again, this is not good. This is Anishtita Bhakti. Okay. Next is Vishaya Sangara. Vishaya Sangara means struggle with Maya. For persons absorbed in material enjoyment, absorption in Vishnu is most difficult. A person going east cannot catch an object going west. Vishnu Purana. The devotee, knowing he cannot attain steadiness in serving Krishna while being attached to material enjoyment, resolves to renounce his addictions in name at least. At least we should do in name. But while attempting to renounce, he may end up indulging in it, taking solace from the example of a devotee given in the Bhagavatam. So, this absorption, material absorption. mm, So, we are fighting with Maya. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we fail. With affection for me, with faith and determination, he will continue worshipping me while at the same time partaking of those enjoyments which give rise to suffering and yet condemning them. So, in Bhagavatam, it said that, devotee partakes of those enjoyments. Partakes means whatever is just coming, he'll accept. But knowing fully well that it will give rise to suffering, and then he condemns them. So, um, but it is very difficult to actually be on this platform. Mm. Affection for me, faith and determination, continue worshipping me, while at the same time partaking of those enjoyments. So if we are firmly fixed in this state where we have with firm faith and determination, then we can. But clearly seeing that all this enjoyment is all just actually suffering. Mm. So this ongoing battle again with his previously acquired desires for sense pleasure, in which he is sometimes victorious and sometimes defeated. So this is war with Maya. Mm. So again, all dilly-dallying, once this side, once that side. Basically, this is Anishtita overall. Mm. So just to summarize, first is Utsahamahi, thinking we are too advanced. Second is Ganatarala against pendulum, condensed dilute. Vyuda Vikalpa, I will do this, I will do something else. I will do this, I will do the pendulum on decision. This is pendulum on intensity of bhakti. Ganatarala is pendulum on intensity of bhakti. Vyuda Vikalpa is pendulum on decision making. Then Vishasangara, pendulum on being able to defeat Maya. Sometimes we defeat Maya, sometimes we are defeated with Maya, by Maya. Okay. Now Niyama Akshama. Niyama Akshama, meaning not able to uphold vows. Devotee may then resolve, from today I will chant such and such number of rounds of japa. I will pay so many obeisances. I will render services to the devotees. I will not talk of any subject except the Lord, and I will give up all association with the people who talk about material matters. Though he makes such resolutions every day, he is always unable to execute them. This is called Niyama Akshama, or inability to uphold his vows. Vishaya Sangara is inability to give up material activities, whereas Niyama Akshama is the inability to develop attraction to bhakti. Okay. Or attraction to bhakti, meaning because these vows are connected to bhakti. So he's not able to develop attraction, because if he develops attraction, then he'll be able to uphold his vows. So Niyamakshama, not able to uphold vows. Vishaya Sangara is fighting with Maya. Last one, Taranga Rangini, enjoying the waves. It is well established that people become attracted to a person possessing bhakti due to bhakti's very nature. And as the popular saying goes, by attracting the populace, one becomes wealthy. Bhakti produces much opportunity for material gain, worship and position, labh, puja, pratishtha. These are weeds around the creeper of bhakti. Engaging oneself in pleasure seeking amidst these weed-like facilities, which are but small waves in the ocean of bhakti, is called Taranga Rangini, delighting in material opportunities. Basically, this labh, puja, pratishtha. Right? We have given everything and given up everything else, but we see devotees getting stuck in labh, puja, pratishtha. So this is Taranga Rangini. Okay, so this is all characteristics of Anishtita Bhakti. Okay, I'm repeating. Utsahamayi, false confidence, meaning thinking I've already become pure devotee, thinking I'm very advanced. Ganatarala, sporadic endeavor. Once it is condensed, another time it is dilute. Third is indecision, Yuda Vikalpa, not sure which path to take, not sure what service to do, not sure about decisions concerning Bhakti. Vishaya Sangara, struggle with Maya, sense gratification, struggling, but still fighting, not giving up, fighting, but many times failing, sometimes succeeding. Inability to uphold vows. This is also a little bit of immaturity, because sometimes we decide to take up some vows which are way above us. So which is why yesterday I was talking to some devotee. He said, "What time do you get up?" I was asking. He said 6:30. I said, "Okay, just make it 6 o'clock." Mm, So not 4:30. Make it 6 o'clock, right? Or 6:15. Okay, 1 week you are able to get up comfortably 6:15 without fail, then increase it to 6. If you are not able to do it consistently, one more week 6:15. Right? So we should not try to take up something much above what our current state is. But we should desire for it, but we should go step. Otherwise, we'll not be able to uphold vows. So it's also a little bit of discretion in terms of what kind of vows we should decide to take up, etc. Right? And the last one, most dangerous for many devotees, is this La Puja Pratishtha. So see, look at this. It's so complex. In so many ways we can remain in Anishtita Bhakti. So that is why we should understand that crossing over this Anishtita Bhakti to Nishtha is a huge effort. It's not easy. It's not cheap. We can't. I mean, if you're not if you're not serious about crossing over this stage, it's not going to come by. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to just happen. Just like we are sleeping, we get up next day and we have crossed Anartha Nivritti. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very serious. Only then we can actually move forward from this stage, right? So this is and this is Anishtita, unsteady. So we can see where we stand. Any questions? Clear? Okay. We have 10 more minutes. So we'll start this third shower, or should we? What do we do? Okay, maybe a little bit introduction. We can start. Third shower of nectar. So we've finished the first two, and we have understood what is Anishtita Bhakti, right? So Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, and Bhajana Kriya. In Bhajana Kriya, there are two types. One is Anishtita, the other is Nishtita, unsteady and steady. Now, third, Anartha Nivritti. Fourth, devotional activities, Bhajana Kriya, produces Anartha Nivritti, or the destruction of bad qualities that obstruct the progress of Bhakti. Anarthas may be classified into four types according to the origin. Okay, so now we should understand this clearly. Bhajana Kriya is the nature of bhajana, whether it is steady or not steady. Anarthas are just unwanted things in bhakti, obstructions in bhakti, in the progress of bhakti. Just so that we are clear, if somebody is doing anishtita bhakti, he will take more time to get over anarthas. If somebody is doing nishtita bhakti or nishta, that means he is already, because he is doing nishtha, he is making progress and he is able to overcome anarthas, then he will come to what is called as nishtha bhakti stage. Right? So nishtha bhajana helps in overcoming anarthas quickly. Anishtita bhajana results in anarthas remaining or even increase. So anarthas may be classified into four types according to origin. Those arising from previous sinful activity, which could be, which is mainly previous life. Sinful activity, previous pious activity. Second type is previous pious activity. Third, those arising from offenses against devotional service. This is what I said. Like if you're doing anishtita, then it might result in more anarthas. This is very dangerous because then we will not come out at all, right? See, from previous life, we can understand previous sinful activity, pious activity, okay. Nothing that we are doing right now in this life, but from previous life. But when we are doing offenses against devotional service, then that results in we are adding to the anarthas. We already have enough from previous lives. We are adding now because of offenses that we are committing in devotional service. And what this results in, that is why it's this aparadhas, nama aparadha, seva aparadha, vaishnava aparadha is very important. This offenses. If you are doing those offenses, then the anarthas remain. We will not be able to cross over anartha nivritti. That's why many times devotees are there in bhakti for a long time, but not gone past anartha nivritti, not come to nishtha, asakti because of offenses. And those arising from imperfectly performed bhakti. So we'll understand what this imperfectly performed bhakti is. That is different from anarthas, aparadhas. So there are four types according to origin. Anarthas are classified into four types. So anarthas which are arising from previous life, previous sinful life, anarthas which are arising from previous pious life, anarthas arising from paradhas, and anarthas arising from imperfectly performed bhakti. And all these anarthas are obstacles, and they have to be overcome. Is it clear? Nishtha, Nishtita, Anishtita, Bhakti, Bhajana, Nishtita, Bhajana Kriya, Anishtita, Bhajana Kriya, Anarthas, four types according to origin. Anarthas arising from previous sinful life, from previous pious life, from aparadhas in bhakti, and arising from imperfectly performed bhakti. Is this okay? Okay, so I think we will stop here because this is now going to start the discussion about the anarthas, different types of anarthas, which will take up. We'll start tomorrow. Okay, so maybe we have some time for some questions if anybody has.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, to make a Nishtha Bhakti, some suggestions can you give, Prabhu?
No, we'll come to that. Still, it's ahead of us. After Anartha Nivrutti. So first we have to understand Anarthas.
Okay.
See, if we don't overcome Anarthas, if we don't have a desire to overcome Anarthas, then also we will not do Nishtha Bhakti. So these are all interconnected. So we will first understand that, okay, we have to understand, okay, I'm either what my Bhakti is Anishtita or Nishtita. So first we have to be clear. Right. So if it is Anishtita, then we understand that now this is going to give us more trouble because our anarthas will not get over. We will not get over our anarthas. So then what are these anarthas? Now they are arising from various sources. So first we have to understand anarthas. Once we have understood anarthas and then we have understood whether I am in Anishtita or Nishtita, then we can think about ways to get over.
Okay.
It's all discussed here in the future.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, then we're stopping a bit early today. We'll continue tomorrow. Krishna willing. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Acharya Mahoday ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.